ChatGPT is actually getting a lot of attention, and I really wanted to see what this open AI platform knows about XRP and what it actually think about the price increase of XRP. So if saying 10,000 to 100,000, yeah, it also kind of give you the idea that it's hype without any fundamental backing. So we are not going to that direction. Instead, we are actually going to look at real questions which we all had in mind. And right now, intelligent, one of the best open AI is actually giving us the idea. And that literally is interesting, educational, because some information is actually new for me. And I'm like, okay, maybe you guys can also know something new today. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. Now, when we are looking at these questions, we do have to understand there's a lot of different things to keep in mind. One, this is an AI which is trained by human beings. So there's a lot of different questions which I asked, but I think let's try to look at what it really looks like at the bottom, the code, which is price of XRP. We all want to know how high can the price of XRP actually go. And I've seen many different questions being asked to this platform, and they don't directly give it. And I've seen some screenshots in Twitter showing it can reach 589 by March. And I actually asked the same question here, like, why March? And it says, okay, that was like, you can't rely on that. It apologized. Fine. But here is another way with which I tried to ask where the price goes. And let's see how it actually went. So the first question was like, which cryptocurrencies have the highest rate of adoption? So this can actually literally vary because you have thousands of tens of thousands of assets here in the cryptocurrency market, right? It actually talked about Bitcoin, then Ether, and the rate of adoption. Now we know why that is. Then at the bottom, when it goes further, it talks about Ripple XRP, which is used by some financial institutions for cross-border payments. So it actually gives you that, okay, it's not up to the level of Bitcoin or Ether in terms of adoption, use cases right now existing in the market, which is being used. But that's the next one shown by this AI platform. Great. Understand this is trained till 2021, and it gives you that after the SEC case is filed, right? So that's actually really interesting. Then I asked okay, considering the total supply of XRP, can it ever overcome the price of Ether? Which is a big question. Because if you are saying, okay, XRP is going to reach $1,000, $1,500, if not, 10,000, 50,000. First question is okay, can it really go to that level? Now, the answer is actually really interesting. It is possible that the price of XRP, which is created by Ripple, and I'm like, okay, maybe the AI need to learn something more. Anyway, could surpass the price of Ether in future. However, it actually also highlights predicting the price of cryptocurrency is highly speculative and uncertain. Great. Then it actually goes around to give you that it is capped at 100 billion. The supply of XRP, it's not saying the supply is 100 billion. It's saying the supply is capped at 100 billion. Of which 45 is in circulation. Now that's back in 2021. Right now, we see 50% and more is in the market. Fine. So a limited supply of XRP could potentially drive up its price. It is comparing the price of XRP to Ether. That's actually a big difference. One right now is $0.4 and the other one is $1,600. So that's a huge price difference. Now, the demand for XRP is highly dependent on its adoption and usage. One thing. Now, back in the days, they are giving you the idea of Xcurrent, Xrapid, and other things, which is kind of the use case. Then it actually compares with Ether and says, Ether is being used for a different use case. It's being used like this. Its supply is this. Fine. But now this is about XRP to Ether. What if it's about BTC? Now the AI actually gives you this. It is uncertain and speculative like you had here. But at the same time, it does actually say could surpass that of Ether or Bitcoin. Now I'm like, okay, that's now in tens of thousands, which is actually a big deal. So I'm like, okay, what need to happen if that is to come true, right? So when we are coming down here, they actually give you different ideas, but actually the supply side of it is being highlighted heavily. Now, when we come back to this range, we actually understand like, okay, this is in circulation, but not the other part, which is with the escrow, right? So now we have to actually literally ask that question like, okay, the total supply of XRP cannot actually limit XRP going to 2 to 3 digits. Now, the first question was actually to Ether. Fine, that just is comparing. But right now, first, okay, what makes the price of a crypto asset go higher? Demand. We know that the demand is increasing, but at the same time, the AI here actually talks about the demand for XRP. And the market value it actually is suggesting is actually bigger. And we know the recent data. This is from back in 2019, but the recent data actually gives you that the target is going to be in hundreds of trillions of dollars for cross-border payments by 2025. Fine. But it also highlights that the adoption of XRP by financial institutions is still in the early stages, and its market capitalization does not reflect the potential size of that market. So now, at that point, the question becomes like, okay, the market cap is going to be an important thing in that thought process. It is suggesting that with the actual financial ecosystem maturing for XRP, the market cap can actually go to this level. Now I'm like, okay, that's huge. Because the crypto market right now is like $1 trillion. And here your target market is 45. So even if you're saying we are only going to get 10% of the target market, it's $4.5 trillion. All crypto, including Bitcoin right now, is $1 trillion. So that's actually going to be much bigger in number than we all actually think. So fine, we actually go back to the previous question, like, okay, what else has to happen? Adoption, we know how it's actually going. So I actually had to ask questions related to adoption, then market capitalization. Fine. Now, for the adoption side of this, when I was asking that, it was actually giving me some new names which I didn't know before. Say this one precisely, I wasn't completely aware of this, or right now I don't remember like watching this before. Central Bank of Italy is also exploring the use of Ripple's technology to develop a digital euro prototype. So when you're looking at UAE, Saudi Arabia doing the pilot program, and then Central Bank of Brazil, Central Bank of Eastern Caribbean, and others working with Ripple. So in that, it also gave me a thought process of like, okay, the adoption range is developing and you literally is looking at how things are moving. Now I had to actually ask the question about on-demand liquidity, because the AI was actually saying that it is trained until 2021, so it should know about this. And I asked about that. So it is suggesting why it is being adopted by financial institutions. The answer here is something which we all know. And then it comes about talking directly towards ODL, cross-border payments, the transactions and all, and we get a thought process like, okay, CBDCs coming out may have some issues with that, right? So I actually went further and asked like, can CBDCs slow it down? And it's like, no, there is a competition, but it actually supplement CBDC for cross-border payment. That actually gives much more sense. And now we are here looking at different thought process like, okay, if that is true, then how high we are going in price, right? That is where 2 to 3 digits of XRP comes into play. And one of the things I believe truly based on TA is that it can actually go to that high. And now people actually ask, like, can technical analysis work? I really wanted to know the answer from the AI. And the AI was actually giving me an interesting answer because it actually gives you the idea that in crypto market, technical analysis can be particularly important. And it can actually give you trend, pattern, sentiment of the market. Now, why is the sentiment of the market or the trend of the market so important? Because it actually clearly highlights if the price of an asset need to go up, whether it's a crypto, whether it's a stock, and in crypto market, it's especially true actually, right? So in that sense, when we are looking at 2 to 3 digits of XRP, it actually shows, okay, one is the limited supply, which is 100 billion. A lot of people actually give you the idea of 100 billion, which is a lot. But right now, you don't have that much in the circulating supply. And when you're opening an XRP account, you have the reserve ratio. So a lot of XRP is being consumed by that. And then investors on the other half. Now, it's not only small retail investors like us. Outside the US, there are institutions using this for payments, right? Now, we are literally observing that. Now, we know in US it's not happening, but outside US it is. Now, it is also worth noting that a limited supply does not necessarily mean the cryptocurrency will go there, but the demand for that token will drive up the price. So the demand of this asset can go higher. We are actually looking at all those. And then can the market cap of the cryptocurrency limit it from going higher? Because there's a lot of talk about that, right? Then we were talking about this, right? Central bank digital currencies, how it comes, what the target market is, how high the market cap can go. And here it gives you an idea. However, it is important to note that the market cap is not the only factor that affects the price of a crypto. One, you should look at as the adoption, the usage, the market sentiment, which also have a significant impact in the price of a cryptocurrency. So going back to that market cap or how high this can actually go, it was literally talking about the use case. It was literally showing us that, okay, if that is the case, you will see when the market matures, XRP cap can actually go higher towards your target market. That was one of the biggest questions because people always say 2 to 3 seconds is the transaction time. So you really don't need that much big market cap to survive for the entire use case or to serve this market. And I'm like, no, most likely if you need to serve a market of $4.5 trillion, you're going to have at least $1 trillion in volume. That's not small considering where it is right now. And we are actually heading to that direction. Now, different types of questions can be asked to this platform and the answer seems really interesting. So we're going down here and we are looking at this, and it actually one of the biggest questions for everyone, which no one can actually know, but I was really wondering if this platform can actually give me an answer. How long can it actually take to see the real adoption? Big question, hard question to answer. Then it comes like it's difficult to predict exactly how long it's going to take for on-demand liquidity to get that range of exposure, right? ODL is a product offered by Ripple and uses it as a bridge currency to facilitate fast and efficient payments. We know the details. Factors that can influence adoption of this is mainly regulatory developments, competition from other digital assets and payment solutions, market sentiment, etc. So market sentiment is something which this AI platform is highlighting in various different questions asked about the price of XRP and then the regulations. Fine. But the future price, once the regulation is here, is based on the target market. We have actually done several videos based on the target market of XRP and how high the price can actually go. Now, believe me, it's not in tens of hundreds of thousands. It's touching 3 digits exactly. That's actually okay. In some aspects, it does go a little bit higher, but not way higher like a lot of people are actually talking. So this is one of the key aspect which we all have to understand. There is speculation, which is healthy. Then there is hype, a little bit, which is healthy. But hype without any kind of backing may not be healthy. Like, when I'm actually looking at the market, the fundamentals, the news, it actually gives you a sense of what you are doing right in the market. Are you on the right side? Now, who to follow? No, 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 no. After watching this today, reading through the comments, and at least I was looking at the comments from Matt, a guy who has been in that ecosystem, and they know which customers they are working with, all those non-disclosure agreements, they have some of the idea clearly. And that guy coming out and saying, this is this, let's move on, right? But at the end of the day, it is actually giving you a clear idea. The crypto market is highly speculative and uncertain. You need to do your own research. That is one of the reasons why we actually sit here trying to spend a lot of time to learn about this. Additionally, it's important to use a combination of different methods. One is technical analysis, then fundamental analysis. So when you combine both of these, you get to make a well-informed investment decision. And we just saw what's happening in the market, and we are really thankful that we are observing all this. Say, this is another payment asset which is showing you that, okay, I can work more, and it is getting more and more in terms of adoption. So the number of payments going through that shows you how it actually works. Like, we were literally looking at a lot of different assets. We went through a lot of these, and we understand, like, okay, technical analysis do work. Back in the day when we literally highlighting, like, okay, this asset may not do much from here, it did not do anything, right? So technical analysis did help us to see, like, these are happening in the market, and this is a possibility. When the price was here, it did show us there is a lot more bullishness coming inside. Short-term volatility can always be there. So while looking at all the SI family calls and these hitting the targets, and I'm like, okay, it really makes sense with all the experience spent on the side of technical analysis and fundamental analysis. It really gives you a better edge in the investment market. So if you are interested in that kind of thing, the link is in the description, just a marketing. Now, while we actually look at the market, we do see, the price of Bitcoin and other assets have actually grown a little bit recently. But we also have to understand, on the short-term horizon, we should have a little bit of correction, because we started this run from 16 and right now we are at 23. Considering how long we've been consolidating and the way we consolidated, we should actually put that thought process here, like, okay, a little bit of correction is healthy. Now, we don't know if it's going to correct down, but looking at the price action, we can say, okay, we're getting a higher high, but the RSI suggests it's a lower low. So there is a mismatch or a divergence happening on the short term. Say, look at XRP here. It is inside this pattern, which was a bull flag, which broke to the upside. Now it's making another bull flag. If that breaks to the upside, it's going to again continue. Now that's a short-term view on a 4-hour chart. So we literally had to come back down here on a daily chart to see where the RSI is. The daily RSI is at 64, which is bullish. Now we are going on to a 3-day RSI, which is at 58, historically speaking. Now, this is history, the price action, everything together, like we learned from the OpenAI. Technical analysis is important. Whenever you watch the RSI of XRP above this range, which is 56, you see price action going bullish. So we are at that range right now, 58, which is like, okay, we lean more towards the bullish side. We have room to the upside. So on a 3-day chart, it does show you, okay, if you have a month to two, you will see the price of this asset going up. Then you go on a weekly, and we want to know, like, historical resistances at what range and where are we right now. Historical support is at 44, and right now we are at 50. So by the time here XRP RSI reaches 55, we can actually say, okay, that is going to be macro bullish stuff coming in. on a daily to 3-day, what we are observing is bullish. So if you are here in the market and you're watching this one and getting value, please do hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're looking for further updates on all these breakouts, calls, we've been entering some of these trades and a few leverage trades as well, because we think the market is changing its direction. It's making a big double bottom and it's about to blast to the upside. That's what we believe. And if you want to see those kind of stuff, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. Guys, if you received value, please do hit that like and subscribe button. I'll meet you on the next video. Bye-bye.